It's in Russian. I didn't do it in Russian. What's gone wrong there? Oh, it's back to front. Chess lesson number 179. The player with the white pieces is called... Well, we'll just call him the player with the white pieces. How do you pronounce that name? And black is cabbages. Red Hot Pawn Championship 2013. I'm Green Pawn. I'm the guy that does the blog on Red Hot Pawn. Let's go with it. E4, E5, Knight F3, Knight C6. Standard so far. And C3. Ponziani opening. Spirit of the opening is to build a white centre. Left alone, white will play D2 to D4 and indeed build a white centre. The drawback being the pawn on E4 is unprotected. Black plays Knight F6. White does not have the traditional defender of playing the knight on B1 to C3 because there's a pawn there. That's the drawback. Angus MacAlson played it. Oh, when? About 6 months ago. And, hang on, what's the matter? Well, what's his name then? It's Angus MacAlson. Magnus Carlsen. The guy's name apparently is Magnus Carlsen, and he's playing in the World Championship in December against... see? You put me off. What's the guy's name playing? Carlsen and... Well, don't keep saying and. Oh, it's an and. Vishy and. Magnus Carlsen's playing Vishy and in December 2003 for the World Championship. Right. Okay, let's move on. I presume that's a picture of Carlsen, is it? Yeah. Have you got one of the other lad? And that's Vishy and Anand. Well, he looks very much like the other bloke to me. There's going to be confusion. Never mind. Right, let's move on. White played D3, A3, H6. These are under 1400 player moves. Just loads and loads of pawn moves coming out. Black's actually pulled off a development here with Bishop E6. If White had gone for the opening, spirit of the opening, as I said earlier on, if he'd have gone D3 to D4 here, excellent chance of him pulling that stunt off D4 to D5. Amazing amount of players lose pieces to pawn fruits under 1400. Amazing amount of players. But White didn't go for that. White played G4. A lot of pawn moves going on. Tea break. Yeah, thanks. Well, what do you think so far? It's just kind of right. Little argument with an hand and that. I mean, you weren't making yourself clear. Right. Let's see how they've got on. Well, since we've been away, you can see that both players have moved, well, especially White. White has managed to move all 7 pawns. And Black. In fact, both players have moved all their pawns. And if White never had a knight on F3, he would have moved his F pawn. And if Black never had a knight on F6, you guys, you're moving your pawns too much. Pawn measles. Right, see the pawn has got measles, and let's put these measles on the board. All the red dots, all the weak squares in the white position, that are a very good player. If you got a piece on one of these squares, well, maybe not on the H file, but a piece on one of the central squares, F4, C3, maybe even B4, you'd be in trouble. Just one square. And it's the same for the black, the green squares, especially F5, C6 and D5. If White got a piece on these squares and he's a good player, you're in trouble. You've got to watch your pawn moves. You're making too many pawn moves and you're leaving spaces behind. Let's go on. What did you put Star Trek in there for? Move that. Okay, take that out. Here we were in this position. Oh, wait a minute. Go back to Star Trek. Imagine you're a starship captain and your king is your life support system and the pawns are your power. You've got to designate the power throughout the ship. So you would leave some pawns back as a shield to protect your life support system and the other pawns up to grab a bit of the centre of the universe. So that's it. From now on, assume you're a starship captain. Okay, go on. There, I'll keep that. I don't know whose move it is, but wait a minute. Go back again. That spaceship. You know, Star Trek must be the most stupidest program on the television. I mean, these guys, they zoom around the universe at 8 times the speed of light, and don't tell me that's not dangerous. The guy driving the ship's a little 8-year-old boy. Was it Wesley Crusher? He has a nap in the afternoon, about 3 o'clock every afternoon. So what does the ship do? Stop. The navigator, he's a computer with 2 legs. They've got a Klingon on the bridge. The doctor's a hologram, and the guy in the engine room is blind. The whole thing's an accident waiting to happen. Health and safety should be in charge of these guys. Oh. All right. We'll go back. Right, you didn't have to hit me so hard. I'll have a little. That was hard. Right. Let's go and join the game. I wonder what they've been up to while I've been talking. It's Black's move. So Black has played and attacked the Queen, and the Queen is moving to. Queen doesn't move. Now we're getting interesting. pawn played b6 attacking the knight. I think black can just take that queen. I can't see any reason why not. But black, there was no reason why black should not just take the queen. But black didn't. Black played queen takes b6. And white didn't move his queen this time. White pulled off a skewer. Ding, a little skewer there, see? Hitting the queen, but the real target was the knight on f6. I think black should just take the rook and then capture the queen on d1. That would be a very interesting position, but black did not. Black moved the queen, and white did not move his queen. I think white could have played it maybe a4 here with a queen a4, threatening the discovered check with b6, but no, he took the knight with a rook takes f6, and black this time took the queen, so we do have a queen sack on our hands. Now when I first saw this, I was wondering what white was up to. He's got this idea, he's got the pawn b6, a fork, pawn fork there, and he's also got this idea with the bishop on h3, discovering an attack on the rook on h8 by going bishop d7 and getting the rook on h8. But no, white came up with rook takes f7 and queen d6, queen moved, and now the bishop came to d7 check, and black is in serious trouble here. His best move was to actually play queen takes bishop, but he didn't. He moved his king to d8. Now I hope everybody can see the bishop on d2 going to a4 with the check, and because the queen has to go to b6 to stop the check, then the knight comes into e6, and that's checkmate. White didn't play it, but what he played it was the other way around. White played knight e6 check first. Black king can't move, so the black queen had to take the knight, and now the bishop came in to a5 check, and when there's only one move, put the queen in, and that's checkmate. Now isn't that a nice little finish for a 1100 player? I think it's very good for a 1100 player, except it didn't happen. Oh no, I'm afraid that white did not play bishop a5 and check in this position. White actually took the the queen. You've got to look at all checks, boys. You must look at all checks. White took the queen, and black looks at all checks, alright, because black played rook takes rook. And you can see that's checkmate. Notice the power is X-raying. The X-ray protection of the rook is given to the bishop. Power of the bishop is going. The power of the rook is going through the king. That's checkmate. That's a disaster for white. He had checkmate staring him in the face. Took the queen instead of chasing the king. Always go for the king, and walked into the checkmate. Wait till Swiss Gambit and Robbie Karobi and RJ see that one. They'll be so impressed. I wasn't, because that never happened. I'm afraid in this position black did not play rook takes rook. It's the only check in the position. You can't tell me you're looking at all checks and miss the only check in the position. It's in fact the checkmate. Black actually played bishop f3, and white, of course, let completely off the hook. You'd normally never get a second chance in chess. Played rook takes h8, and nothing at all can now stop white from playing rook and h8 takes bishop f8 checkmate. And black didn't wait to see that. In fact, black resigned. So that's me offering you out for a game of chess with a nice business in my hand. Looks like I'm wearing my pyjamas. And that's me in front of a demo board. Hey, you got any more pictures of me coming up? Yeah. Oh, the end. Alright, let's see the shads. Yay!